you are going to be a sucker for the Judas kiss, the kiss of death.
Yeah, it's Big Judas. With Metronom, Al Haran, Bishmi Allah Rahman Rahim. I'm the cat who don't give a fuck, that hood nigga. This year I'm about to flip it up, the good giver. About to murder with a killer touch, the good sinner. In the club, hit the bathroom break, boom, Perico. Flashy young Camacho, nigga, it's Puerto Rico. 88 keys, nigga, I got the magic. Murderous styles I invent, I got the fashion. Copping $5 fake Nikes and Alvarado. I sold them for 65, then cop the bottle. Purchased the Pac-Man scratcher and won the lotto. I ain't in the giving mood, nigga, don't ask to borrow. Shadows of a crooked smile, I'm feeling wild. I'm a Michael Douglas shit, Jew of the Nile. My lyrics provoke the spirits, performing sorcery. Lisa Lamb synchronization, so move accordingly. Before you fall in the dark waters and die disorderly. The whole world watching know that I am sick. The only thing I'm contemplating to get lit. The art dealer painting styles with lung butter spit. It's Big Judas, leave you hanging from a crucifix. The whole world watching know that I am sick. The only thing I'm contemplating to get lit. The art dealer painting styles with lung butter spit. It's Big Judas, leave you hanging from a crucifix. Khalil Mack, Aaron Donald type power. Doc Gooden, Devil Strawberry type powder. Give me the soft, need the good from Black Jesus. Put the red wine in the crack, they won't believe this. Gave up my own Dodger jacket for the product. In and out of insane asylums is where I lost it. It's vile, but I lay Jade with Fox style. What gives me joy when I'm let off by the cops. Rocking royal blue fleece hoodies to Mount Frost. So what you thought? I'm the modern Bella Lugosi. White neighborhood watch niggas is still nosy. Denver fans never seen a man like me or Kobe. I should be sponsored by Clorox and Motel 6. Combine the Taco Vodka with Gatorade, now I'm sick. Ain't no angels in Los Angeles, that's Disney shit. I represent Highland Park, this is that Nella clip. The whole world watching know that I am sick. The only thing I'm contemplating to get lit. The art dealer painting styles with lung butter spit. It's Big Judas, leave you hanging from a crucifix. The whole world watching know that I am sick. The only thing I'm contemplating to get lit. The art dealer painting styles with lung butter spit. It's Big Judas, leave you hanging from a crucifix. Yeah, it's that real 213 shit, baby. Stranger danger on the beats. Young Einstein the catalyst. Subhana be Allah. Audio crack, nigga.
You were tuned into the freshest, the dopest, the one and only www.diggingdaily.com. This is The Way Radio, broadcasting live from Hotbox Studios, Northeast Los Angeles, 90042. And as always, we got special guests. Today is no exception. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. But who we got in studio today?
Yo, what up? This is Big Judas, straight out of Northeast Los Angeles, repping right here.
What up? Yeah, repping Highland Park.
Oh yeah.
Out to 626, Stranger Danger. Represent Black Tongue Society crew, SADC. And my homie, Big Judas. Album's brutal.
We just heard the first track right here. We just heard the first track, Kiss of Death. Banger. That's all I gotta say, banger. Talk about that track real quick.
Man, that track actually just is the reason the album came together, really. I remember Stranger hit me up. He's like, man, I got this fucking banger ass beat. And then I just wrote to it, I think fucking right away, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, basically what happened was I had this track. I had been trying to work with him forever. It was like pulling teeth to get him to like do anything. But finally I persuaded him to, went to his house, picked him up. You know what I mean? He wrote the track to the track, and automatically after that one song, once we heard it, we knew that we were onto something. And honestly, everything since then it just flowed like water. It was easy.
So for you, Stranger Danger, what made you want to work with Big Judas?
Well, you know, years ago when Black Tongue Society was in the scene heavy, I had heard of this kid named Jugga the Beast. And so I had seen him live and I heard some of his music and I was like, yo, this dude's style is like, I feel like is custom made for my beats, or my beats were custom made for him. And so like years, like a decade, like had passed, and you know, the whole while in my head, I'm like calculating one day, you know what I mean, we're gonna come up with a cult classic. And so finally one day over, I think SADC, we were trying to do some sort of like crew record. And so he came through one day to record on the track for that. And so after that, boom, I just got in my promotional mode, and I'm telling him what we can do. And, you know, he's got access to the studio all the time. And, you know what I mean, just kind of catering to him to get him to try to see my vision. And yeah, and actually pretty quickly, man, you know, he's a real dude. He's down to earth. We're from the same neighborhood, Highland Park, as well as our families too, for forever. Yeah. So it was just like kind of, I felt like with this shit right here, it was really natural, and I almost felt like it was just kind of meant to be almost, you know what I mean? Like the stars were aligning, and yeah, the rest is history now. And now we're about to release a really, really good album that we're proud of, and that a lot of our close homies and friends and fans and listeners will be proud of as well. You know what I mean?
That's what's up. Let me ask you this, Big Judas.
Mm-hmm.
What got you into this hip hop game, man? What made you pick up the pen?
Shit, I would say just being a fan of hip hop, honestly. Just always being a fan. I got older cousins that was into hip hop. I was a graffiti artist. I think that's where it started off. Just when I started doing graffiti, just hanging out with my homies that could rap. And then fucking, I had actually a neighbor. His name was Duke. Shout out to my boy Duke Young. This cat was fucking murderous MC. To this day, I would fucking hear this fool freestyle, and then I just fucking started freestyling with him on a consistent basis. Probably when I was like 11, 12 years old, just freestyling and shit. And then started writing, picking up the pen, just writing. Like, I remember the first shit I wrote, I think fucking was to the I had this fucking instrumental tape. It was the What's Up Doc, Can We Rock?
Oh, yeah.
Bushnickens, yeah. It was the instrumental, and then I remember something like, I wrote something about something, how did it go? Something,
You're like jumping Jehoshaphat's and something that goes with that. My style's more rugged than a 20-year-old yoga mat. Something like that, right?
Something like that. I remember it to this day, though. That was like some of the first shit.
Let me ask you this, man. Who was some of the artist influences on you, man? Style-wise.
Man, style-wise, we were just talking about that today. I mean, I had a fucking array of artists that I listened to from West Coast to East Coast. I mean, the first shit I had the LL Cool J tape was one of my first tapes. Ice-T was one of my first tapes.
Nice.
Fucking Short Dog in the House was one of my first tapes. I mean, that's what got me into hip-hop. And then obviously I love the Wu. I love Cypress Hill. I love fucking the Licks. I love fucking MC Ren. Fucking, I love that.
Nice.
Ice Cube is one of my favorite artists. You know what I mean? All that production from that era too and shit was sick. You know what I mean?
Nice. How does that reflect on your album? All the artists you just mentioned.
I think it has a big impact of who I am and shit. Just the shit that I grew up listening to. I mean, honestly, I'm from the West Coast. I'm from Highland Park right here.
Yeah.
I remember being one of one of the only cats like rocking East Coast back here. I remember cats. I had a lot of gangster fools like I remember one day someone was like, "Yo, what's that fucking T-shirt, homie? Is that Batman?" I was like, "Nah, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing." I'm like, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. I remember I told him that right in class, and shit, and the teacher was like looking at me like, because I was ready to fucking. I didn't give a fuck back then, but I was still repping and shit. I didn't care if it was East Coast or West Coast. To me, honestly, when I first got into hip hop, I didn't even know the difference if LL Cool J was from East Coast or who the fuck was from the West Coast. You know what I mean?
Just music is music.
If it was dope, it was dope.
That's the difference. I think it was from today and now.
Let me ask you this, man. When Stranger Danger comes up to you, and he starts talking about the vision he has, and you spinning on his production, what the fuck was going through your mind?
Honestly, at that time, man, I was doing a lot of wild street shit at that time. I had just fucking got out of jail. I wasn't really even focusing on music, so we were just talking about if it wasn't for Stranger, honestly, I wouldn't even have been doing music. I had stopped fucking I was just on some street shit,
You
really.
had stopped doing music for like years, huh?
Yeah, I stopped doing music for years. I was on a bad one. I was on a fucking sick one, you know what I mean?
So when you stopped doing music, what was one of the main reasons why you stopped doing music?
Honestly, I fucking lost the love of it. I just felt like it was just different. I just felt like all the shit that I had put out didn't come to like fruition or whatever, and it didn't fucking pan out like I wanted it to.
Yeah.
So I just kind of felt like fucking let down from that, and I just kind of I just was on a different path of like heavy drug use and shit.
Yeah.
So I kind of just didn't have my mind on it and shit.
So
I always wanted to still continue to do it. I still had the freestyle in me.
Yeah.
Anybody that tested me on the freestyle shit, I was still flexing, but I just didn't have that passion. I didn't have a studio to rap. First of all, I didn't have that studio, and fucking I just didn't have that access to it. But if I did have that access with Stranger, we probably would have been making shit back then.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many albums do you actually have? Because you said you released some, but how many albums altogether?
I first started off with my boy Laid Law, Charlie Tuna's little brother.
Yeah.
We had a group called Live Radio back then, and fucking that shit was like, it was taking off at that time. We had opened up. This is before the pay to play shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was only when like a couple artists was rocking the shows. We did shit for like J-Lib, fucking everybody, Souls of Mischief, fucking Nonfiction.
Layla, that's Layla. He's a producer, right? Yeah, he makes dope ass beats and shit too, right?
He makes beats too
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the MP. Yeah.
How was that? How was it working with him? I seen him at a beat battle once back in the day, and I thought he was fucking a genius. I just never.
Oh yeah, man.
I never said nothing about it.
He is, man. He's taught a lot of heads too. I got my boy Tomo out there in Japan making beats. He taught my boy how to make beats on the MP. He taught me a lot of shit on the MP. We kind of taught each other
Nice.
a lot of shit. But working with Laid, honestly, man, that motherfucker is a genius. Like you said, like he taught me the fucking art form of hooks and shit. I didn't even know about. I would just rap like fucking like 60 bars and not know what the fuck when to stop the song or what the fuck. But he's like, yo, we gotta have a hook, son, and we gotta. So I started learning about hooks. I started learning about wordplay more. His brother was like, yo, we shouldn't cuss in our shit. So I was just, so it made us kind of, it made me more lyrical to just think of other words than cuss words and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, add stuff other than filler.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
Like real words.
Yeah, so I mean, it made me a better artist working with him, definitely.
And then after that album, what was the next album you had after that?
That album never got put out.
Really?
It did actually. Destruct ended up putting it out later on for us on Bandcamp and shit. Like Destruct was a big fan of ours and shit. He's like, man, y'all need to have your shit. I mean, we had a lot of like younger heads hitting me up, fucking telling me we gotta put our shit out. And then fucking at that time, we were supposed to, we were signed to Sound and Color. I don't know if you guys remember them.
Yeah.
And then fucking they ended up going bankrupt, and our shit at the time was supposed to get put out. It didn't get put out.
Damn.
And then then Laid Law started touring with Charlie Tuna. He started touring with Tuna, and then so that kind of hindered our shit. And I was doing drugs. That's when I started doing drugs. And Laid was like, man, he wasn't feeling that drug shit. You know what I mean? I wish I could go back in time and change shit, but that album never got put out. It ended up getting put out. It's out now, but not fully the real all this whole shit that we had on it.
Yeah.
That one. Then I did a Soul Juggler album with my whole crew. That was put out like 2011. Probably like 2011 on Tom Bandcamp too. And that shit blew up like more in Japan and shit.
Crazy.
Yeah, we got a lot of Japan fans and shit. It's crazy. But that was the second album. Then I had another album. I started working with my boy Capitol Hill. We did.
Shout out to Capitol.
Shout out to Capitol Hill, that fucking motherfucker. Yeah, that motherfucking I had an album with him called Masters of Death, and then man, we didn't put that album out either, but it was a fucking banger. Was gonna be a banger. We didn't end up getting to put it out, so then that's when I just stopped rapping and shit for a while.
Word. Damn, so you had all this music, man, and it just seemed like you just didn't have the outlet to put it out there.
Exactly, man. Honestly, that's you know, I can't blame nobody. It was just I put it all on me and shit. You know
Well, there was some circumstances that are in there that
Yeah.
are beyond your control.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
But
that's
for the
true.
most part, damn, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, it's honestly a fucking beautiful feeling to have that feeling back again of like doing this interview and shit. For example, I mean the love of it.
I'll go even a step further, dog. And stranger danger, don't let this hit your ego. but you're working with a fucking genius right there, man.
No, definitely,
just
man.
everything that this man does, man. I'm a big fan of his music.
Hell yeah.
And just knowing that you guys linked up, we heard it on the first track, Kiss of Death. Just hearing that, I was just like, that gave me that old like 90s, like, oh shit, we're getting back to our culture.
Hell yeah.
We're getting back to some like real shit right there. Speaking of
Man.
which, we're gonna get into another track right here, Lord Goat, featuring Cool Keith. Talk about that track. Introduce it real quick.
Yo,
Yeah.
so by the way, I appreciate that. By the way, and I won't let it get to my head. I'm kind of too old for that now. But yeah, man. So Lord Goat, shit, just another dope banging beat. You're gonna really enjoy this shit right now. You're gonna get hype as fuck to this right now. So we got Cool Keith on the hook with this, and yeah, I mean Judas is the one that made this happen. So go ahead.
Yeah, I linked up with Keith. I was like, I'm a fan of Keith. I've done shows with him back in the days. Luckily, I got the contact and fucking we connected and shit, and he fucking agreed to do the hook, and the rest is history.
Which also, by the way, this next song, Lord Goat, featuring Cool Keith, is also a music video with Cool Keith.
Yeah.
It's coming out next month sometime, so look forward to that. It's just gonna be dope as always.
Yes,
What's
sir.
going on? Still alive?
Yeah, Judas. And you're listening to the sounds of Big Judas. Non-stop. Lord G-O-A-T. From California to Beijing. Just do it non-stop. Lord G-O-A-T. From California to Beijing. Just do it non-stop. Lord G-O-A-T. From California to Beijing. Just do it non-stop. Lord G-O-A-T.
The chosen one holding the sun, the golden tongue. Attack of the body snatchers, we creep 'em from out the slums. After the moment's done, snatch breath from out your lungs. The greatest of all time, I write rhymes in blood. Saddam couldn't equate the Quran and got stuck. But I carry on from beyond the tomb of King Tut. I jot dots like gunshots and got anointed clips. Dip slugs in mercury, my shit's poisonous. Dyslexic, red rum, you get the message. Without question, the red sun to leave you headless. The guard type, the reason niggas sniffing the hard white. Gangland in one apartment building, I'm guard height. No charges, nothing on me, nigga, I'm godlike. Double cross me, motherfucker, and then it's on sight. I'm the reason why prize fighters keeping their guard tight.
Lord G-O-A-T. From California to Beijing. Just do it non-stop. Lord G-O-A-T. From California to Beijing. Just do it non-stop. Lord G-O-A-T. From California to Beijing. Just do it non-stop. Lord G-O-A-T.
Yo, it's the Lord Goat. I need more smoke and more dope. You can't miss it, tactician, my rap vision was God-given, the true and living, I'm on a mission. My palm itching, I drop wisdom, the God arisen. Dusty, dirty, Nicaraguan birdies. Slow down, observe me, for the call I'm worthy. Gems all polished, black wallets and blue M30s. I got incredible Hulk bars to leave you curvy. Pop shots at a distance, Steph Curry. If I have to kill a witness, it don't concern me. Every garment saucy, purple mango hirachis. Black hats with the feral tail to keep it frosty. I got shooters like Reggie Miller and Chuck Person. I don't bless mics anymore, I just curse them. Stay lurking behind curtains, Anthony Perkins. Big hurtin' the rap version of Tyler
Lord
Durden.
G-O-A-T. From California to Beijing. Just do it non-stop. Lord G-O-A-T. From California to Beijing. Just do it non-stop. Lord G-O-A-T. From California to Beijing. Just do it non-stop. Lord G-O-A-T. From California to Beijing. Go, 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 go.
You were tuned in to the freshest, the dopest, the one and only. DiggingDeli.com. This is The Way Radio. Broadcasting live from Hotbox Studios. Special guest in studio, Big Judas, Stranger Danger. We just heard another track off the actual, wow, what's the name of the album before we even say that?
self-titled album right now, man. Honestly, I think we're just gonna leave it as Big Judas, just the
Nice.
self-titled. Yeah.
Yeah.
Off the self-titled EP, Big Judas. Make sure you guys check it out when it
Yeah.
drops. How was it working with Cool Keith, man?
Oh man, me and Stranger were just talking about that. It's crazy. This motherfucker is a real. We talk about geniuses and shit. That dude is a real fucking genius.
Yeah, that's like bucket list shit.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, it was a fucking like. I mean, honestly, fucking Cool Keith is one of the illest motherfuckers out there. So it was just like, you know what I mean? It's I'm a fan first and foremost. So but when we got in the studio with that motherfucker, I basically just told him he was about to start writing. He just got his little yellow paper and he's like, man, the beats, he was fucking like critiquing different beats before we put that beats on.
Shit.
And fucking he was like, before I even knew who Stranger Danger was, the Stranger Danger beat, one of his beats was playing, and he's like, man, that beat is fucking crazy. He was just like, the way he was analyzing it was just like the drops and shit. So he was already feeling the Stranger Danger beat and shit. And then fucking when he pretty much wrote to it in like, I fucking swear, like probably like 5 seconds. It was like 10 seconds. It was like the fastest.
He asked the name of the track first.
Yeah, he didn't even ask what the name of the track was. I wish I wouldn't have told him. Because he was about to start writing something different. And then I told him, I was like, the name of the track is, I was like, yo, the name of the song is Lord Goat. And then he just was like, scratched whatever he was writing and then just started, okay. And then he just wrote it right there. He just wrote it in like 10 seconds. I was like, damn, okay. And I was like, so like, damn, this nigga's done already? He's like, I'm done and he's ready to record. I'm like, fuck, okay. So it was just that. It was pretty much like a freestyle.
For you being in the studio with him, man, how much knowledge were you able to soak up?
A lot. That's
Yeah.
what, like, I was just analyzing the way he does his ad libs and shit. And I was like, man, the way he's like, Judas, do this. Like, the way he fucking, like, would get certain words.
Yeah.
And make it, like, echo himself and shit. You know what I mean? So I was just soaking up on his ad lib game and just the way how professional he went about it and shit. You know what I mean? He's a fucking vet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then you guys got a video together too for this track, right?
Yeah, we got his fucking video coming out soon. We
Nice.
already did a couple scenes to it. Stranger wasn't, unfortunately he wasn't
I wasn't able to make it, but
Yeah.
but so they recorded his verses, they recorded his hooks, and some different scenes like that, and some of Judas, and then we're about to wrap it up next Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was it like being able to like just first of all catch Cool Keith in the studio and then to have him like with you to do the video, like, because not a lot of artists get that feature. How was it for you, especially with your history, Judas? Shit.
Man, it was fucking lit. It was Cool Keith is like one of my fucking favorite MCs, first of all, and I'm just a fan, like I said, first and foremost. I mean, I had met Keith a long time ago at a Mitch Richmond fucking all-star party. And fucking no one knew who Keith was and shit. And that's how I connected with Keith fucking way back and shit. And it was like when when we talked, it was just like we had never left and shit. Kind of like it was just. He's like, you talked to him, right?
Dude, I got a cool little story about that. It won't take that much time, but like since I didn't get to meet him personally, which I met him before, but I didn't get to go to the studio session.
Yeah.
I didn't get to go to the video shoot, the first part of it with his part. So, but he was bugging out. I feel blessed about this, but he's bugging out on my beats, and you know what I mean. He wanted me to give him a call, connect with him, possibly do something in the future, and
Nice.
And then we were kind of playing phone tag back and forth, and so finally one day I got a hold of him. He answered, and we just talked on the phone for like an hour. Not even about music. We were just talking about Ewing's like shoes. Like we were talking about kicks and like
Crazy.
Yeah, for like an hour talking about Patrick Ewing shoes. Like barely know him.
Patrick Ewing shoes.
Yeah.
He needs to get sponsored.
Oh no, he did actually. Look out for it. Go. They dropped. Yeah, Cool Keith. They dropped a shoe for him. A Patrick Ewing shoe for him.
Dope.
It's out right
We
now.
need a Stranger Danger Ewing.
Yeah, EwingAthletics.com. Give me a free shoe. Come on, I ordered too many from you.
How many tracks actually made the album?
What's that?
How many tracks actually made the album? This album for Big Judas?
Oh, so we're contemplating 11 to 13. So we had 13, but we're trying to rethinking it after a while. This album's been a couple years in the making. We haven't really been rushing it. We've been taking our time. So so yeah, it's either gonna be between 11 and 13.
Word up. And then as far as that goes, what are you guys doing differently with that album, or with the album that you haven't done before?
So I think honestly, so now that we got this really going, and I was able to be a good project manager for him, somebody that could finally complete the task that we started, that he started, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so now that we're doing that, the only difference I think is he had labels before and stuff, and other people pushing him. Now we're just independent, doing our own stuff, and we're just kind of pushing online. Things have changed since then, and just a lot of promoting, a lot of IG stuff.
What about production-wise, Stranger Danger? What did you do different on this album that you haven't done on other albums?
Well, honestly, like I said, I always felt like my beats were custom tailored for him, or his vocals are custom tailored for my beats, without even knowing what the beat was gonna sound like. It was just it's an automatic match.
Yeah.
So
we just talked about that today, man.
So because of that, I knew exactly what sound to come with. I knew exactly out of all the styles of beats that I've made over the years, I knew exactly what I needed to do. And the researching and the digging of this album, from vinyl to VHS to cassettes to the most obscure shit you could possibly ever imagine, it was really easy for me to not know where to go, but just to find what I was looking for. But it was a bitch to really seek out and find exactly what I needed. It made me dig to a different level, and actually before dig, research to a different level. So I think that was the thing that was different than all my other albums. I was a little bit more critical and precise with myself on this. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Nice. What about you, Judas? What did you do differently on this album, man?
I think the beats, like we said, if it wasn't for Strangers Beats, I just kind of tell a story and shit. Plus, getting in the lab with him and actually just not doing it like how some artists do. I think it's more better to get in there with the fucking actual producer.
Yeah.
And just fucking, instead of you know what I mean, we're doing it digital nowadays. It's just more better of a feeling, so I got in there with him.
Yeah, we really vibed out.
Tracks, yeah.
We really vibed out crazy. He wrote most of the stuff. We wrote it together. He wrote his verses, right? But he's in there doing his thing, and I'm I'm like a head coach, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm listening for what he's saying under his breath, and I'm looking at his notepads, and I'm giving him little ideas here and there.
Yeah.
We get to the hook, I'm throwing my input, and it just kind of just flowed quick, natural.
Nice.
And that shit was real dope, man.
Nice.
It felt like I was back in Black Tongue Society again for a second, you know?
Yeah.
It's natural.
That's what's up. Yeah. And then Judas, man, you actually come with some artist history, because your dad was an artist, right?
Yeah, my dad. Shout out to my dad, man. Rest in peace.
Talk about that.
He's a famous salsa musician. Actually, he played with a bunch of artists. He's started off with Willie Colon, Hector Lavoe. They basically created the fucking first salsa album.
Crazy.
Yeah, the first salsa album is Willie Colon, The Hustler, it's called. He's on the cover right there. He was signed to Capitol Records with a group called Cadera. He played with fucking Jazz Crusaders. He played with oh man, what's that name of that group? They're called where'd Kid Frost get that sample from?
This is for Lhasa?
Yeah.
Doom. Doo-doo. I don't know.
Fuck, what's the name
Los
of that
Angeles
band?
Negros?
Chicano,
Yeah.
no, fuck.
Los Pasteles Verdes?
I can't think of the name, but I'll think of the name in a little bit. It's in.
Yeah. Let me ask you
He
this
played
though.
with so many different artists. Yeah.
is there gonna be a track where Stranger Danger samples some of your dad's music and you try to flip it?
Oh man, we never thought of that.
Yeah. Shit.
Hey, you sparking.
There it is. See, I threw it into fruition.
There you go. Thank you.
Yo,
That's
sick. That's sick.
Yeah, I'm surprised you never thought of that. I mean,
yeah,
shit.
we just,
man,
I don't know what it was, man.
Yeah.
But hey, we're already working on part 2, so thank you.
Oh shit! So you guys got another album you guys are working on?
Yeah, we already working on. We about to just put projects out, man.
Damn.
Right now, I'm in just like in another fucking dimension. I feel like in my fucking like, and my progression as an artist, as an MC. Like I just feel like I'm fucking way beyond peak right now. I just feel like ready to just track after track and shit. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you feel like with so much music coming out that maybe you might lose a little something, or is it the more music comes out, you're just getting?
I feel like I'm gaining more, like
Nice.
more momentum and more style, more. I'm just getting better as every day goes by. I feel like
We're getting a lot real good feedback with this too so far from tracks that we've leaked.
Yeah.
And they are really like some of the best feedback I've ever gotten out of any project I've ever done. Yeah, I'm really happy about that.
It definitely fits the. I want to say it definitely fits like the music that's kind of coming out with like Real Heads. It's like it actually fits in there as far as like the way the production goes, the way you present yourself on the vocals. So I feel like I'm like, all right, you're not doing, because a lot of cats are jumping right now on like that down south whatever style. And this is more like you're fitting right into the genre of like, all right, we're gonna keep it just real.
Yeah.
And everything, like the way it's packaged, the way you guys do it, it really, really does feel like, all right, it speaks to me.
That's
I'm a
what's
hip hop
up.
head. I'm a hip hop, so it speaks to me. So
Thanks, man.
I mean, shit, it definitely is coming together.
It's
I will
just,
say
man,
that.
It
just
feels
natural.
like a cult classic, dog. Honestly,
Yeah.
It's just like, it just feels like, fucking.
When you hear the whole album, you feel the vibe of the album. It's put together kind of like, sounds like a old cult classic B-movie sci-fi like score pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I
Score to
mean?
the
Like,
streets.
yeah, it's like very obscure. You're not gonna know where I found any of my samples. I dare anybody to find what I dug up,
Oh,
where I got it
shit.
from, and
It's a
let me
dare.
know, because if you do,
Dares
then I
you.
want to work with you, because then we can exchange real ideas. But
Can't fight
it's gonna be pretty like really high degree of difficulty.
Nice, nice. Speaking of which, we're gonna get into another track right here, "Planets in Orbit," featuring C1. Talk about that track.
Oh man, that track came. We were writing another track and the homies showed up. C1, shout out to C1. He came through, and shit, I just had a verse already for that one. I think I was writing we just laced it hella quick.
Yeah, we laced it real quick, and we already had a hook, an idea for the hook. We put in "Old Dirty Bastard" on the hook.
Nice.
I had that idea actually for a minute. I had an idea for that. I was like, yo, we gotta use that as a hook.
So we
Hey,
did some,
son.
we keep Planets in Orbit. So we did a quotable type shit. No cuts on this one. I just did it myself manually. But,
Nice.
But yeah, that's how it all went down. So shout out to C1.
Yeah, we did a video for that. You
Props.
could peep it on YouTube. Planets in Orbit is the first video we did. It was.
Yeah, it was basically the first single off the album, Planets in Orbit, featuring C1.
Yeah.
Here it is right here.
Ghetto God.
Can just make phone calls and spread insanity oozing through telephone cables, oozing to the ears of all these poor, sane people, infecting them. Wackos everywhere, plague of madness. Come on, let's go. Very few of us are actually mentally ill. I'm not saying you're not mentally ill. For all I know, you're crazy as a loon. Hey, go! It's not waiting for you. Go, go! All right, man. All right, man. Listen, kneel, pray.
Lex Luger maneuver, metal plate in my forearm. I'm killing niggas from here to there, so on and so on. Your niggas corny, pursuing glory, telling my story. A bunch of actors manufactured in laboratories. Beast with the villainous style, call how it is. Blazing with the murderous smile, running your crib. I capture the moment and burn it up in the Vega. Some think I'm the devil, some think I'm the savior. Whatever the case, embrace the magic through your temple. I replace the feeling it makes in your mental. The fortified villain, I'm killing your weak perception. Most my niggas hold more heat than Charles Heston. 40 Glock pop a cop while he in the precinct. While they search for motives, ain't no rhyme or reason. When the gun talk, it's a lecture on philosophy. If the truth be told, even death ain't stopping me.
Hey son, I keep planets in orbit while I be coming with deeper and more shit. Hey son, I keep planets in orbit while I be coming with deeper and more shit. Hey son, I keep planets in orbit while I be coming with deeper and more shit. Hey son, I keep planets in orbit enough to make a nigga go crazy.
You the God's divine sight, shine bright like gunshots at night. Blow, universal insight to stay hype. Like drug addicts, we in Cadillacs, diamonds in the back with rhyme packs. Lyrical drug dealers and smack facts of nothing but the truth. We troops at C1 and jug of the beast. The ghetto gods spit street knowledge. We stay grimy, yet polished and gleaming. Suckers stay daydreaming. We militant maneuvering through dirt that Babylon wanna kick up and two-faced snakes that wanna be scheming. I stay soulful free from new age slavery. Behind bars, avoiding cases and bids. Fuck the judge, the jury, the DJ, and the witness kid. We slice them as we dipping out for silence. That's my primo and my Dio on the block that smokes Frios. They better not say shit, cause I stay focused and we dropping the hits. Powered by our ancestors and the most high. They give us the energy to manifest the destiny. So you better know what up, so you know that we it, motherfuckers, yeah. Abundance, greatness, we gods, yeah, what?
Hey son, I keep planets in orbit while I be coming with deeper and more shit. Hey son, I keep planets in orbit while I be coming with deeper and more shit. Hey son, I keep planets in orbit while I be coming with deeper and more shit. Hey son, I keep planets in orbit enough to make a nigga go crazy. Can't fuck what? You can never fuck me, motherfucker. Okay. Fuck you up right now. What? Bust your motherfucking ass, boy. Ain't no motherfucking joke. You know who you talking to? I'll fuck you up right now. Yeah. What?
You're tuned in to the freshest, the dopest, the one and only DiggingDaily.com. This is the Way Radio, broadcasting live from Hotbox Studios. In studio, we got Stranger Danger, Big Judas, pumping tracks off the unreleased album that will be dropping soon, Big Judas. Dope fucking track. Let me ask you guys this, man. Earlier you said, Stranger, that there was a vision you were looking for. Did you achieve that vision with this album?
Yeah, I mean, for what I wanted to do, I definitely did. I'm really critical of myself, and I'm critical of Big Judas, and I'm just with putting stuff together. I'm just really hard on myself. I've always been that way. I learned that through sports, but it came out as close as I could possibly get it how I wanted it to. There are pieces of it that I am kind of okay. But I'm gonna fix it on part 2.
Yeah.
Part 2 is gonna be actually even better, honestly. Which usually, you know, it's in reverse. Usually the sophomore album is usually shit. But this one's good. This one's amazing. Next one's gonna be even better, in my opinion, to tell you the truth. Like, I already hear it. So, but yeah, so we're getting there. See how we're just chipping away?
Yeah,
we're just chipping away. Reach
this
for
one.
perfection.
This one might be my favorite one because it's the first one.
Yeah.
And
His first solo.
It's just it's the way it came together, and like you said, shout out to the other artists on the album. You know what I mean? We got Killer Priest, we got Bandusa, we got Queen V,
Nice.
we got MX.
MX1, the Crooked Tooth Bastard.
Nice.
Yeah, we got Hoken.
We got Hoken from Test Subjects. So,
what's the other? We got Green, DJ Lime Green.
DJ Lime Green.
Lime Green.
who's on
Yeah,
that track
DJ
with
Lime
us?
Green. We ended up Gunny Sinatra.
Gunny Sinatra too.
And
Nice.
then Lone Ninja. So just a lot of really just dope artists that we're fortunate to work with.
A lot of heat on that album.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of heat, and then push production by Stranger Danger. You know, that shit. Hell yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. And then where can we find all the music as far as when the album does drop? Is there a projected date or more or less time frame?
So yeah, it's more like a time frame. We don't have an exact date.
Yeah.
Trying to finish this video up and stuff like that. But it's definitely going to be somewhere towards the end of September, early October, I would say. So I would say more October probably.
Are you guys gonna drop any like little gems for people to like pick up on?
Oh yeah, we're doing that right now.
Yeah.
Strangers doing that without any permission.
I've reeled it in a little bit though. I've reeled it in a little bit though.
This is where the interview gets interesting.
The juicy shit.
Yeah, but you know, hey,
He's my brother, though.
sometimes the project manager makes the executive decision.
My nigga's crazy.
And then everything's gonna be available on audiocrackrecords.bandcamp.
Yeah, audiocrackrecords.bandcamp.com. And so everything from a lot of our discog, all the albums, this new album, merch is also going to be on there. Anywhere else that you want to find us, like iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff will be. The links will also be on the Bandcamp as well. So you can find a lot of gems on there. That if you're an underground hip hop head, which you obviously are when you're peeping this out, you're gonna find a gold mine of music that you never even knew about before, possibly. So I get hyped for that stuff. Like I always got hyped over that when I could find cats that not everyone else was listening to, this is like I actually like struck gold. I found like diamonds. I found like gems. You know what I mean? Like that used to get me. It would give me adrenaline, kind of like in a competitive nature.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
and then you said for merch, you guys gonna drop shirts, hoodies, records too. You said, right?
Yeah.
I got
Nice.
the hoodie on right now.
Check out the hoodie.
Got a sample right here.
Nice.
We got.
That's the album cover.
This is the album cover right here.
Nice.
Yeah, we got Judas right here in Japanese and we got other merch. So keep it out. The merch is fucking murderous, I think.
Yeah. So we're gonna have some. We're gonna have t-shirts, hoodies. We're gonna press some vinyl, cassette tape.
Nice.
And obviously online everywhere. But yeah, we're gonna try to like just put out as much as we can within reason. And so there's gonna be a lot of dope shit out there for you, everyone.
Performances coming soon. Maybe a tour or something.
Yeah, we're hoping on that too. I mean, sooner it should happen.
Yeah. So hey, I've been working on that stuff. I've been setting up a lot of interviews, and but beyond that, I'm gonna be setting up shows for him really soon. So in this next month or so, be on the lookout for Big Judas doing some live performances, coming to you live. And if you've never seen him live, Big Judas got a really dope presence. And if you're looking for some heat and some bangers and some hardcore rugged street shit that could get you amped and hyped, then you go to one of his shows and you won't be disappointed. That's
Any
for sure.
promoters want to hit me up, go to my Instagram, Big Judas 1111. Just type in Big Judas 1111 and let me know what's up. Hit him.
How'd you get the name Big Judas?
Shit. Everyone knows I used to go. Well, not everybody, but I used to go by Jug of the Beast. And for the project, the first track, the Kiss of Death track, that was the hook. I just came with the hook and I just said it as a kind of I said it and it was like kind of a freestyle thing. And it was like, oh, okay, everyone kind of reacted to it when I said it. And then fucking David was like, Stranger was like, yo, shit, put that on and shit.
Yeah, just like
he thought it was the good name and shit.
Yeah, no, it's just like it rolls off the tongue. It just sounded like impactful right when you heard it, because when you think of Judas from the Bible, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like automatically just the sound of the word, not to mention the meaning, and then you put Big before that, it just rolled off the tongue. And but you know what I mean? Like the behind meaning of that is this fool's just grimy as fuck.
Yeah.
So it just fit, you know?
Word up. One more time, shoot all the like Instagram posts, all the information where promoters can get you guys, where people can find the album when it drops and all that good shit, and then just information as far as so I can keep up to date with everything you guys got going on.
Hit me up and Big Judas 1111 on Instagram, or hit up my manager Nessadocious. Is it Nessadocious? Nessadocious. I don't even know how to spell that right now, 'cause I'm so
It's
high.
all good.
But yeah, hit that up or find me in the streets wherever I'm at.
Yeah. So also Audio Crack Records.bandcamp.com. Online, on Instagram, it's stranger_danger_official. And yeah, you can contact me through there anytime. I respond in reasonable timing. So get at me if you need beats, if you want to work on something. But no whack shit, please.
Yeah, no
Gracias.
whack shit. You heard that shit.
No
No whack
auditions.
shit.
No auditions. Everybody want to audition.
Yeah. You willing? Are you open to working with other artists? Big Judas?
Definitely, I love working with other artists. Like, it inspire me. So yeah, I definitely like to work with other artists, but they got like no whack shit. Like,
Yeah,
no whack shit,
also too, man. You know what I mean. I'm not hoarding Big Judas. Like, if there's other producers out there that are sick, you know what I mean. That, you know, hey, don't keep in mind too. He loves jazzy shit too. You know what I mean, like boom bap, like banging, rough, jazzy shit. Like that's right up his avenue too. So like, if you got heat too, like yeah, he'll work. You know.
Word up. Before we close off this interview, any shout outs before we close out?
Yeah, shit. I got some, and I'm sure Judas does too. But yeah. So I got a list here, man. I gotta shout out my people. So first off, want to just mention a couple of my two favorite producers in the world right now. Shout out. I've worked with one of them. I'm looking forward to working with the other one. So one is Don Banks out of Koreatown. Mr. Mumbles, shout out to Mr. Mumbles out of Rochester, New York. We have a project coming up called the Human Fly Twins. It's an EP.
Nice.
My lyricism, half my beats, half his beats. And if you heard anything about Mr. Mumbles, dude's the real deal and doing big things. So shout out to Hoken. Shout out to Test Subjects. Shout out to Module 8, The Hidden Hand, Argzy's The Violent Geek, Amex 1, The Crooked Tooth Bastard, Black Tongue Society, Faith the Pure Light, EQ for mixing and mastering this album.
EQ.
What up, EQ? He did an amazing job on this, and I know you just interviewed him.
Yes,
and
sir.
He's also from Northeast LA. So yeah, big shout out to EQ. The homie Roz, Ben Grimm, what up? DJ K Bandit, the homie Apocalypse, ESF for life. TG, Dig, Find, Listen, Sample, Chop, Repeat, which is the hat I got on right now. Peace for the hat. Frankie Mocoso, Stand and Deliver Collective, my crew. OTEC, my wife, Digging Daily, Show Enough. Thank you, man. We appreciate this. Big shout out to you, dog. You've been holding it down for a long time, and you've been playing my shit for a long time and listening to my shit for a long time, and I really appreciate that, and I respect you a lot. You know
Nah, no doubt, man. Thank you. What about you? What about you, Big Judas? Any shouts before we close out?
shout out to Laidlaw. Shout out to Overlord. Shout out to the whole crew, Soul Juggler crew. Shout out to God Degree. Shout out to D-Lo. Shout out to my moms. Shout out to my fam. To my cousins, Antique, Alfred. Shout out to. That's it.
Slot 1.
Who?
Slot
Slot
one.
one, yes. Shout out to Slot 1. And there's so many I'm probably forgetting. I can't think
But
of
yo,
them.
real quick though.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vanessa. Shout out to my girlfriend. Vanessa.
So you see how he just freestyles
Queen
it, you know what I
V.
mean? And I'm all over here nerdy with my notes and stuff like that. But hey, I don't know. My memory, like my dad always used to tell me when I was a little kid, my memory's the second shortest thing I got. So you know what I mean?
This.
I got one-liners sometimes.
What about Black Tongue Society, real quick? Are you guys gonna do your annual Halloween show?
Man, that would be awesome, man. That would be so dope. But like, honestly, it hasn't happened in a while. One thing that we have been doing over the last year since we've stopped doing albums and doing stuff is we've been doing like Halloween like EPs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And putting out something that's like, you know, for the horror movie or the horrorcore. I don't even know what you want to call it, but for us, it's just creative and fun, and you know, it's grimy and hardcore too. But we get a little bit extra murderous and porny with it, but corny. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see, because you know, everybody has their families now, and everybody's off in different states and like doing different shit. So it's kind of difficult. But that would be amazing, honestly, man. If we could, we will. So we'll be talking.
Yeah, I'll be watching the Instagram post, hoping it happens.
Sure. Hey, it's fun, right? No, if you've never been to any of our shows, people listening, I know, sure enough, seen us perform. We're just wild as hell.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's still another level. That's it's almost, if you love punk rock and you like the energy of that, a show was like that. You know what I mean?
Always a dope time. Always a dope time. Last track we're gonna get into right here. Solve the Riddles. Talk about that before we close out.
Solve Riddles, man, that track is crazy. It came together right before we did the Planets in Orbit. Me and this cat was, I had the hook written in, fucking C came in, and we got kind of fucked up, drunk. We got drunk and then fucking totally lost the lyrics. I was like, man, this hook is banger. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we was like, man, then I
couldn't find it for a month.
couldn't find the hook, and we was just not satisfied with any other hook. We was just like, man, the other hook that we had, it was so fucking murderous. And then, so then I fucking happened to find it at like last minute, right? The day we was gonna record.
And then we ended up getting in the studio, and that was it. And this was the track too that Kool Keith was bugging over. So yeah, the beats gnarly, and then when I got his vocals over it, it was just like the missing puzzle piece. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of good feedback.
Nice.
Feedback so far.
Well, I want to say good luck on the album dropping. Big Judas, self-titled EP coming soon. Big Judas, production by Stranger Danger off of the audiocrackrecords.bandcamp.com. Should be dropping sometime late September, early October. Make sure you guys be on the lookout for it. Follow these homies on Instagram. Follow them on any social media. You heard some of the jams they dropped today. You know there's going to be a lot of dope shit coming out. Want to wish you guys both nothing but success. And with that, we're going to get to the last track. Solved Riddles, Big Judas.
Thanks for having us on.
No doubt.
Man.
Thank you for coming through.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be what we are without the artist.
We're looking out.
DiggingDaily.com.
Audio crack, nigga. Yo, the 8-pound with the bang sound. Put your face down. Tonight it's going down. 2 million to 1 odds. I got the wages in my favor. If not, chop the thumbs off. Cold diamonds from Nicaragua. Niggas so past the hour. And listen to the charming music. I get stupid when I light up the embalming fluid. Form matters and molecules. Regenerating dead cells. It doesn't matter. Don't believe in beasts. I'm way past 12. I'm the lizard walking up walls, blowing out the candles. When I walk through the town, I make drug dealers scramble. Like Omar is coming, nigga, put out the APB. Stranger and Juggernaut, double G-O-Ds. Master the perfect swing like Tiger and GG. Yo, it's the resurrection. Bruce Lee, Chinese connection. Hey yo, it's Adrian, Don Barzini type of calculations. In Paris, France, I was ordained through constellations. My form is normally on copper thorn for meditation. My every thought similar to God's imagination. Hey yo, it's Adrian, Don Barzini type of calculations. In Paris, France, I was ordained through constellations. My form is normally on copper thorn for meditation. My every thought similar to God's imagination. I get loose off the hammer on juice. I'm too smooth. I got blacklisted from the league for telling the truth. Catch me in my uniform with black socks and black shoes. I ain't playing no games. Bachman, I do Raouf. I'm the fucking living proof. Dropping nothing but jewels. 6 in the clip, nigga, I got nothing to lose. I'ma do a run through like a Dama Kasu. 438s, 3 9s, and 222s. Yo, it's Adrian Barzini Mussolini with swords. Slicing through your arteries and your ventricle cords. With the mathematical barrage of science and bars. Way beyond all the physics and natural laws. Juggle a law. Yo, I'm the microphone fiend. Look into the hieroglyphics, AD the Green King. Say my name in your prayers, nigga, bitch me a law. Emmanuel, Yahweh, I'm the God, I'm on raw. Hey yo, it's Adrian, Don Barzini type of calculations. In Paris, France, I was ordained through constellations. My form is normally on copper thorn for meditation. My every thought similar to God's imagination. Hey yo, it's Adrian, Don Barzini type of calculations. In Paris, France, I was ordained through constellations. My form is normally on copper thorn for meditation. My every thought similar to God's imagination. Word quite buttery.